Oh, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt's convinced that Robert De Niro's on some kind of Epstein list or some kind of thing like that, and then he's afraid that if Trump does get power, he's going to expose him, and he is actually going to come at him.
Of course Kurt thinks
That's
that.
What Kurt thinks that.
Kurt thinks that about every thing that happens in the world.
I think Robert De Niro's just got Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he's old, too. There's a thing about old men.
And
they want to yell at everybody.
And he's completely... Did you see when he went and gave that speech outside of the trial? That was bizarre.
Told him that was a good...
Rewritten. What happens when the world's most unfiltered podcast host unleashes beast mode on Hollywood's crankiest grandpa? Spoiler. It's not pretty, and it sure ain't Taxi Driver. Joe Rogan just handed Robert De Niro a verbal jiu-jitsu beatdown so wild. Not even Scorsese could storyboard the chaos. From protein shakes to political meltdowns, Rogan pulls 0 punches. Is De Niro finished? Stick around. This showdown's uglier than De Niro's last attempt at being funny.
Why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
If you're going to come out and say that you have a really deep-seated hatred for one of the two people running for president, you can't just be, he's a bully, he's a piece of shit, I hate him.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
Probably, if you're going to express yourself about it and alienate 50% of the country, which it seems like it is, you're going to have to do better than that. You should have some specific...
Rewritten. Robert De Niro, once the undisputed king of gangster grit, now the high priest of political grumpiness. He used to scare audiences with just a look. Now, he mostly delivers angry monologues that feel like someone handed him the wrong script. Picture a bad reboot where the aging star forgets he's not on a soapbox. Instead of method acting, it's method ranting, and the performance is falling flat.
Yelling at regular people. He's a, fuck you, you're a gangster. Fuck you. Like,
it's crazy that that's the guy from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
You know what also I think those guys have no friends. I think the only friends they have are Hollywood phonies. And so you're in this weird world where everybody you talk to is a phony, and you become a phony, and everyone's a phony, and your grasp on reality is very slippery, and your eyes are going, right? Mm-hmm. So your vision of the world, your actual vision of the world, your ability to read a phone. You ever see old people's text messages? The fucking text on their phone is like as big as my hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so your vision of the world is blurring, literally and figuratively, and then you're getting...
Rewritten. Enter Joe Rogan, a podcast juggernaut who turned long-form chatter into a cultural war zone, and now he's got De Niro in his sights. But this wasn't a love tap. It was a no-holds-barred verbal takedown so raw, even the mic flinched. Let's rewind. De Niro once owned the screen. Oscars, icons, Scorsese collaborations. The man was cinematic authority. Now, he's just a cautionary tale Rogan couldn't resist dissecting.
On stage in front of people with TV cameras pointed at you. You've never experienced that in your life, and you have a panic attack. It doesn't mean you're an idiot, and that's also Robert De Niro.
Yeah, it's
the same thing. Yeah, it's like, why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this?
Rewritten. Somewhere along the line, De Niro traded his movie sets for Twitter tantrums. No longer playing gangsters, he's now ranting like your neighbor who just discovered Facebook politics. He's not acting anymore. He's campaigning for King of Outrage. And Joe Rogan? He caught the scent from across the cultural octagon and came running. Because nothing triggers Rogan's radar like elite hypocrisy wrapped in Oscar gold.
Old people are tired and cranky. They just want everyone to listen to them, and they don't have time to have a calm conversation, and you state out your opinion, I'll state my opinion, let's see where we have common ground. Get off my lawn! And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's being this old grumpy man that is so lost that he thinks it's a good idea to stand in front of a bunch of people on the street and give a speech on camera about how bad Donald Trump is. With all the shit that's going on in the world.
That I know.
All the craziness of the...
Rewritten. Rogan's brand is simple. Cage fight intellect with podcast punch. His fans? Loyal, grounded, and allergic to elite nonsense. So when De Niro morphed into a red carpet doomsday prophet, it was only a matter of time before Rogan struck. And strike he did, not with diplomacy, but demolition. He called out the absurdity of a man who built a career playing violent anti-heroes now pretending to be Hollywood's conscience. That's like Tony Montana preaching nonviolence. It just doesn't land.
De Niro, there's something about being a star where you think your opinion's more important than anybody else's, and you can go give a press conference, and he obviously has been very vocal from 2016 that he hates Trump for whatever reason. Maybe they have some personal thing.
You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way.
Now he's like holding press conferences. Now everyone's heckling him everywhere he goes.
That's so bad.
Like instead of just being this cranky old liberal, now you're this guy that is yelling at other people that are Trump supporters, and they're yelling at you. Like you've opened yourself up to this nonsense. Like
Rewritten. Here's the irony. The guy yelling about injustice from his Malibu mansion has no clue what struggle looks like. For Rogan's audience, people who punch clocks, not pundits, De Niro's rage reads more like rich man cosplay. He's a walking contradiction. All fury, zero self-awareness. Rogan didn't debate him. He dismembered the illusion. No back and forth. No equal airtime. Just a one-man wrecking crew tearing through De Niro's posturing while De Niro stands there, arms down, waiting for applause that never comes.
he and Trump hate each other personally. I think that's
Really?
what that is. Yeah, I think he probably. What are the odds?
He
that
seems
doesn't run
mentally
into-
handicapped. I'm not kidding. He seems I don't know. I have a feel he doesn't know about. He was on Bill Maher. Bill Maher has him on to ask him. It's crazy that Bill Maher would ask him anything. You know, there's a National Guard in the fucking subways and shit.
Yeah.
So Bill asks him, "What do you think about it?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know about that. If there's anything
Listen.
I can do to help,
All
I
you should
guess."
be asking Robert De Niro about is two things:
Yeah.
awesome movies and divorce.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
tell me what happened to
I would
you
love to ask
with
about
the
that.
divorce. Tell me what happened if you want to talk about it, and tell me what happened to you with these awesome fucking movies. I don't need to know jack shit about his politics.
Rewritten. Rogan's surgical strike starts with the oldest Hollywood sin, performative outrage. For decades, De Niro played characters steeped in moral gray, mobsters, killers, crooked cops. Now he's shocked the world doesn't buy him as a beacon of virtue? Rogan skewers the absurdity with precision and comedy. De Niro, once feared for cold stares, is now a meme shouting into a digital void, fist raised at nothing, like a grandpa arguing with Siri. It's not just satire, it's cultural taxidermy.
Blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care.
You didn't think this through. Like, this is, and he's getting yelled at. He's doing an outside press conference. Like,
Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
Robert, you're 80 years old. Don't ruin this thing. You've had this life where you were a raging bull. You know, you were in The Godfather. Like, stop doing this.
man.
Don't do.
Rewritten. And that's the punchline. De Niro isn't just out of touch, he's out of time. Rogan doesn't have to yell. He just lets the internet amplify what's already obvious. The emperor's wearing boxers. As trust in celebrity morality hits rock bottom, De Niro's rants sound like museum audio guides, dated and disconnected. Rogan becomes the voice of the skeptical masses, while De Niro becomes the guy everyone politely ignores until the next meme drops.
People that are doing it right now about Biden telling you how you should vote, even though you know he's impaired, you definitely shouldn't vote for Trump.
He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is, as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
Don't tell people that, you idiot, because it's going to make more people angry and want to vote for.
Rewritten. Rogan doesn't enter this arena swinging wildly. He arrives with tools. A scalpel, a spotlight, and a smirk. He peels back the layers of De Niro's moral authority with such precision. It's surgical satire. De Niro yells like a caffeinated Shakespeare reject. Rogan calmly pokes holes in the script until there's nothing left but ego and echo. It's not a debate. It's an autopsy. And by the time it's over, De Niro looks less like an icon and more like a guy yelling at clouds in HD.
Not going to convince anyone walking down the west side of New York City talking into your phone about what a threat Trump is to democracy. You aren't changing anybody's vote. You're just being a condescending, scolding, liberal, which is what drives everyone crazy.
I always say he's a lowlife. He's a lowlife.
Rewritten. One side of the ring. De Niro, tuxedoed, yelling into a room full of elites like he's delivering gospel. Other side, Rogan, flannel shirt, sipping whiskey, breaking it all down for millions who've had enough of the grandstanding. The tough guy who once made mobsters quake now sounds like a karaoke version of himself, off-key and out of touch. Rogan doesn't scream. He reveals. He lets silence do the damage. And that silence, it's louder than any De Niro monologue. Because at the end of the day, the man who once ruled Hollywood with a glare has become the punchline Rogan didn't even need to write, just highlight.